While the Bible is clearly not a science textbook giving a detailed analysis of the Earth's formation or its place in the solar system, passages in the biblical text which do mention and describe the Earth's shape clearly tell us that its authors understood the planet to be a fixed, flat, disc-shaped object upon which played out the drama of human life, overseen by an omniscient, omnipotent God. For example, the most well-known passage supporting this idea of the Earth's shape is found in Isaiah 40:22, which references God and reads, "It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers." Likewise, this imagery is duplicated in Job 26:10, which describes God inscribing a circle in the primordial waters. The same wording is used in Proverbs 8:27, which reads, "When he prepared the heavens, I was there, when he set a compass upon the face of the deep." The key here is the reference to the earth as a circle or compass. As noted in the introduction, biblical apologists have tried to explain away this imagery by claiming that the Hebrew word translated circle in the English versions of the text can also mean something spherical. And others, like Answer in Genesis creationist guru Jonathan Sarfati, go so far as to remark, even if the translation circle is adhered to, think about Neil Armstrong in space. To him, the spherical Earth would have appeared circular, regardless of which direction he viewed it from. But hold on a moment. Is the Earth in any sense a circle? From space, the Earth would not have appeared to be a circle to Neil Armstrong, or anyone else for that matter, any more than a globe sitting in a classroom appears to be a circle to those sitting around it. It's ball-shaped. That's why the Earth is sometimes called the Big Blue Marble, and not the Big Blue Dinner Plate. The only time the Earth looks like a circle is either when viewed as a two-dimensional photograph or from an earthbound perspective, as noted earlier. And we know the ancient Hebrews didn't have access to photography. The apologist's assertion that the Hebrew hug, the Hebrew word for circle found in these passages, can mean something spherical, carries far heavier weight than merely asserting that the Earth would look like a circle to anyone staring at it from outer space. It's easier for apologists to misdirect the attention of their audience and change the meaning of a word to suit their purposes than it is to actually have to deal with the word directly. Unfortunately for their case, the Hebrew hug does not refer to anything shaped like a globe. The word has as its root the meaning of to encircle, encompass, describe a circle, draw round, make a circle. Think of a drafting compass with a point at one end and a pencil at the other. When rotated, the pencil draws a flat, circular shape. This is the meaning of the Hebrew word hug, and that is why it is faithfully translated circle in all English translations. In the Septuagint, the 2nd century BCE Koine Greek translation of the Old Testament uses the Greek word for circle or ring for these verses instead of the Greek word for sphere or ball, which was readily available to the translators should they have thought this was a better parallel for the Hebrew hug. However, playing the devil's advocate and for the moment allowing the apologist's assertions to be true, that passages like the one from Isaiah are referring to a round and not just a circular earth, we'll have to admit that the knowledge of this fact would not have come from some sort of Hebrew science or philosophy. There is certainly no evidence that ancient Israelite intellectual elites made the scientific and or mathematical calculations that would have given them the true shape of the planet as reflected in the Hebrew scriptures. Such evidence would need to wait for the Greeks.
How would you set about to measure the Earth with the mathematical knowledge and tools you already possess? A Greek named Eratosthenes did it 240 years before Christ. He was head of the great library of Alexandria in Egypt, a city built by the Greeks. He, like others, suspected that the world was round. After all, the sun and the moon were round. He had also noticed that the sun's rays fell in parallel lines. Greeks before him had divided the circle into degrees and had measured angles. With this information and a logical mind, he measured the Earth. Here is how. While visiting the city of Syene one midsummer's day, Eratosthenes noticed that the reflection of the sun could be seen in the bottom of a deep well. The sun was overhead, and the rays pointed to the center of the earth. He remembered this, and on the next Midsummer's Day in Alexandria, he measured the shadow cast by an obelisk. Sunbeams travel in parallel lines, so the difference in angle had to result from the curvature of the earth. If the angle was 1/50th of a circle, then the distance around the world must be 50 times the distance from Alexandria to Syene. With these simple tools, Eratosthenes made this almost exact measurement of the world more than 1,700 years before Magellan sailed around it.
While the Greek Eratosthenes was able to scientifically demonstrate how he arrived at his knowledge regarding the shape of the earth, the same cannot be said of the Hebrew writers. One must assume, along with the apologist, that this knowledge must have been divinely inspired, proving the Bible to be of supernatural origin, evidence that there is an omniscient God revealed in the Scriptures. However, if we assume this along with the apologists, we then have to ask ourselves that if the ancient Hebrews had a divinely inspired understanding of the earth's shape, was there an existing word in their vocabulary that might better describe a ball-shaped planet? Could the deity have inspired a better word choice? The answer to such a question is where we'll pick up next time.